Steven didn't do this. At the Comic-Con in September, pretty lousy show or whatever. We didn't draw any. Not a whole lot anyway. We tore down the ring. We went back, took it back to the training center. And I told him that, hey, man, I just think that you're kind of going over too much on Revelation. You got to give them back. And I was like, I use a football analogy. I was like, if a team's up 28-0, I was like, you pretty much know that they're not coming back. I was like, if you kind of keep it 14-14 or 21-14 and just a little bit ahead, I was like, there's always a, you know, you keep it balanced or whatever, it builds more drama. And, you know, Steven seemed like he was kind of, I mean, he was fine with it. He seemed fine with it at the time. But I also know, like I said, just kind of reading his body language that he wasn't. He was like, I think, like, more upset that I was even bringing it up. But like I said, for the most part, we didn't have any real issues up till the Comic-Con thing when I had that discussion with him or whatever. But that was really when it started to kind of think that, okay, the ownership thing, you know, he kind of needs to remove himself from ownership and think, you know, the whole talent thing about his own storyline and try to get his own storyline over. And it seemed like he was trying to get himself over by using Motley or Revelation and all that stuff when he knew deep down he probably couldn't get it done by himself. Mm-hmm. And like I said, to me that kind of showed chinks in his armor, because overall before then he was pretty much a you know, an awesome owner, you know, awesome co-owner, cool to work with and all that stuff. And then like I said, the June thing happened, and then the Comic-Con thing happened, and then it kind of just started.
Oh, speaking of September, this was another moment where we really noticed the chinks in his armor. It was the week before the Comic-Con, I believe, the September show. It was a triple threat match with KJ, Brett, and Johnny Motley. And first of all, KJ and Brett decided to rib Johnny Motley for some stupid reason. They decided to do the DX Cena opening where KJ immediately hit Brett with the super kick, knocked him out of the ring. And like that wasn't what they planned with Johnny, so they decided to pull a rib in the main event like idiots. And at the end of this match, Cage Stevens runs in and hits a, he called it a, what, key crusher?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But he hits a move that is supposed to be a key crusher, and it looks like complete hell. And we go to the back, and you started, you know, hey, this, blah, blah, blah. And you look at Steven, and you go, and that key crusher was just horrible. It was just terrible. And Cage Stevens storms out because he got criticized. I mean, what guy sits there and says he wants to better himself, he wants to get better, and doesn't take criticism? And also on the ownership thing, speaking of criticism and such, in August we had a Lafayette Summit. It was me, you, Billy Rock, Brett Havoc, KJ, Laura, and Steven. And me and Laura had kind of butted heads at that point because I didn't feel she should be an owner. She heard about it, and well, she had heard rumblings, I think, through Steven, that I wasn't too happy, and I told her straight up in text, hey, yeah, I'm not happy with you being an owner. So in this meeting, she tells me, you know, because she like passed, she's like, I don't have anything to say. And I was like, well, okay, I guess I'll go then. And I brought it up, and we're going back and forth, but real cordial, no issue here. You know, everything, I told her straight up, I had no issue with her personally. It was, you know, just a professional thing. But anyway, she says in this, well, Steven told me, I was under the impression you and Rojas knew I was coming in as an owner. And the moment I said that, Laura's like right here in front of me. And Steven is like leaning forward on the table, you know, to where I can see him. The moment she says that, he leans back to where I can't see him, like he's out of my viewpoint. And I kind of found that a little weird. Like just that he, you know, wouldn't want to be seen by me after his wife tells him, yeah, he kind of lied to you. And, you know, and me and Laura, like I said, we've since patched things up. Things are a little weird between us now, but for other reasons. I won't go into detail, but, you know, it's tension. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, that was another issue. And, like, it just, you know, like, things just started piling on. Like, it was almost like each month something else would come out with Steven. And it was just like, okay. And it just got to the point in October 2011, we had decided, and we went to go over the show with them, we were like, yeah, it's got to be 2 owners. You know, we can't do 4. 4 is just too much. Yeah, it may help cheapen the venue rental, but at the end of the day, the shows are just lackluster because we have so many ideas for one. There's just so many ideas that so many people have that are going to fight for it. But also, it got to that point where it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about doing this because someone else will do it. And that's what that person's thinking. They're thinking that about that person. That person's thinking about that person. At the end of the day, nothing gets done because everyone expects everyone else to do it.
Yeah, and like I said, it just kind of to the point of where something had to give. And I think I made the offer to Laura first and foremost.
Yeah,
like,
you put the offer on the table that someone needs to, and Laura, I had a ton of respect for her for this. She just immediately was like, I've been wanting out for a while. She was just like, I'm done.
Yeah, and I made the offer. I paid her like a week or 2 later. No, it was the day of the November show. I paid her and all that stuff.
And Steven kept dragging it out. Kept dragging his decision out because I think he wanted to still have say in who was the main, and he still ended up semi-main.
But like I said, that was kind of the and you know, one thing I want to touch on before we get ready to wrap up the Triumph days was other than the whole Scott debacle, I appreciate what Laura brought to the table. She did some awesome things with those flyers. She used to send me texts or whatever, pictures of the text, you know, how's this look and all this and that, and run by it, you know, it'd be awesome, you know. Cool, you know, I'd offer some things or whatever, she'd change it up or whatever, and boom. Steven came up with some cool ideas. He helped us, like I said, some ideas just, you know, he'd throw out there, and I'd be like, ooh, you know, that's pretty good or whatever. If we had trouble, like, Hadley and I tend to like to think on our... We had to think on our feet, you know, have a plan B, plan C ready to roll at any time. Steven would help with some of that stuff. And like I said, you know, overall, you know, on a personal level, I have no problem with Steven. You know, we talk college football sometimes and all that stuff. You know, nice guy. Laura, cool chick to talk to. You shoot texts every so often saying how you doing and all that stuff, and, you know, this and that, you know. But just, if I could give this precautionary tale to anybody, this cautionary tale of don't ever have more than 2 owners. It's rough. It don't matter what 4 people they are. They could be the best of friends. They could be family members or whatever. It's just, it's rough to try to have so many ideas come together and try to mesh them. Well, it just doesn't. It doesn't work.
And if you want another little cautionary tale, little warning, and you'll find this out in our coming chapters coming up, don't do business with friends. If you want to have a friendship after that, do not do business with friends.
And with that, we're going to wrap up this chapter, and we'll start talking about some old friends.
Yeah.